With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 2 of 4.
Etc.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws.
Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
By acquisition of sacred knowledge, he destroys ignorance and will not be corrupted by worldliness. Please continue watching for more insightful teachings from the sacred Jainism scripture, Uttaradhyayana.
Industrial animal agriculture harms people, animals, and the earth, and it should not receive government bailouts. It should be dismantled and replaced. Jean Bauer, vegan.
We don't want more war. We want to ask the Palestinian government to put their hands in the Israeli government's hands in order to reach peace resolve, to end this bloody conflict. And they must know that this is a popular demand in the two sides.
Roni is Jewish and Maha is Palestinian, a resident of Gaza City in the Gaza Strip. These two heroic women share an enduring friendship that has already withstood 2 wars in Gaza. And when they spoke, these women didn't speak of blame. They spoke only of how dialogue and non-violence can end the pain that both sides and both of them have experienced. Together, they give each other hope for a better future.
We're tired of wars. We want to cry out and say, no, no more war. There are other ways. We want to live peacefully with our neighbors across the border. We want people to understand that war isn't getting us anywhere. Violence isn't getting us anywhere.
We agree there is no military solution to the conflict, and that real peace resides not in the hands of the governments, but in the hands of the people, our hands.
Real peace shall
O Gaza, please make peace, not war. Better near neighbors than relatives afar.
Supreme Master Qinghai, vegan.
Nami Kalasananduku Santosam means nice to meet you in Telugu. Greetings, noble viewers. I'm Bhavish. The Telugus of India unite with you to promote love and compassion through the adoption of a vegan diet. May we all live in peace and harmony. Welcome to excerpts from the sacred Jainism scripture, Uttaradhyayana, Lecture 29, Part 2 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. The Jain religion, Jainism, traditionally called Jain Dharma, originated in ancient India. Jain Dharma emphasizes the value of right perception, right knowledge, and right conduct. Through inner reflection and sincere practice of these principles, one can attain moksha, the realization of the soul's true nature. The concept of ahimsa or non-violence is also central to Jainism. According to Jainism, each cosmic time cycle has 24 Tirthankaras, or beings who share their enlightenment with others. The Tirthankara's teachings comprise the Agam Sutras, which are the holy scriptures of Jainism. In the present time cycle, the 24th and last Tirthankara was Lord Mahavira, vegan, whose name means great hero. Born into a royal family in 599 BC, Prince Mahavira decided as a young man to pursue a solitary spiritual life. After 12 years of intensive meditation, he attained Kevala Jnana, or the highest wisdom. Lord Mahavira was known to face all obstacles with acceptance and forgiveness. He also shared discourses on spiritual truths, which formed the basis of present-day Jainism. Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, has paid tribute on several occasions to the spiritual strength and devotion of Lord Mahavira, vegan, during lectures given in Taiwan, also known as Formosa.
I don't know if anyone in the history of mankind could have done, or could be doing, or will be doing such an asceticism, such a sacrifice like the Lord Mahavira. We really salute him and are grateful. To all that he has to endure. For enlightenment, for the sake of others, yes. All these sufferings are not for naught. They would benefit the world in some way or another, even without the Lord Mahavira knowing, or even without the world's people knowing or being grateful for.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is one of them. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Protection of animal egg. Any person who cruelly treats an animal person is guilty of an offense and is liable to a fine of 1,500 East Caribbean dollars, equivalent to $555 and imprisonment for 3 months. Anyone who engages animal people in fighting or permits another person to do so is also liable to a fine and imprisonment. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses, no more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab tests, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
Let us continue with readings about the practices that will guide us to ultimate spiritual liberation as elucidated in Jainism's sacred scripture, Uttaradhyayana, Lecture 29. 29th Lecture, The Exertion in Righteousness. O long-lived Gambasvaman, I, Sudharman, have heard the following discourse from the Venerable Mahavira. Sir, what does the soul obtain by the desire of the Dharma law? By praises and hymns he obtains the wisdom consisting in knowledge, faith, and conduct. Thereby he gains such improvement that he will put an end to his worldly existence, or be born afterwards in one of the heavens of the Vimanaka gods. By keeping the right time he destroys the karman which obstructs right knowledge. By practicing prayaskita, atonement, he gets rid of sins and commits no transgressions. He who correctly practices prayaskita, atonement, gains the road and the reward of the road. He wins the reward of good conduct. By begging forgiveness, he obtains happiness of mind. Thereby he acquires a kind disposition towards all kinds of living beings. By this kind disposition he obtains purity of character and freedom from fear. By steady he destroys the karman which obstructs right knowledge. By the recital of the sacred texts he obtains destruction of karman and contributes to preserve the sacred law, whereby he acquires the Dharma law of the Tirtha, which again leads him to the complete destruction of karman and to the final annihilation of worldly existence. By questioning the teacher, he arrives at a correct comprehension of the sutra and its meaning, and he puts an end to the karman which produces doubts and delusion. By repetition, he reproduces the sounds, for example, syllables, and commits them to memory. By pondering on what he has learned, he loosens the firm hold which the 7 kinds of karman, except the ayushka, influx of karma, have upon the soul. He shortens their duration when it was to be a long one. He mitigates their power when it was intense. He reduces their sphere of action when it was a wide one. He may either acquire ayushka karman or not, but he no more accumulates karman, which produces unpleasant feelings, and he quickly crosses the very large forest of the fourfold samsara, cycle of birth and death, which is without beginning and end. By religious discourses he obtains destruction of the karman. By religious discourses he exalts the creed, and by exalting the creed he acquires karman, which secures for the future permanent bliss. By acquisition of sacred knowledge he destroys ignorance, and will not be corrupted by worldliness. By concentration of his thoughts he obtains stability of the mind. By control he obtains freedom from sins. By austerities he cuts off the karman. By cutting off the karman he obtains the 4th stage of pure meditation, characterized by freedom from actions. By doing no actions he will obtain perfection, enlightenment, deliverance, and final beatitude, and will put an end to all misery. By renouncing pleasures he obtains freedom from false longing, whereby he becomes compassionate, humble, free from sorrow, and destroys the karman produced by delusion regarding conduct. By mental independence he gets rid of attachment, whereby he will concentrate his thoughts on the Dharma law, and will forever be without attachment and fondness for worldly things.
Peace is happening around our world. October 2023. The Armenian Prime Minister, His Excellency Nikol Pashinyan, a Shining World Leadership Award for Peace Laureate, states that his nation may sign a peace pact with Azerbaijan in the months ahead, and proposes the Crossroads of Peace project to open road and railway links between Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Turkey to facilitate trade and strengthen ties. By creating peace, we all can make a loving, serene, and prosperous world.
By using unfrequented lodgings and beds, he obtains the Gupti, the 3 rules of conduct, whereby he will use allowed food, be steady in his conduct, be exclusively delighted with control, obtain a yearning for deliverance, and cut off the tie of the 8-fold karman. By turning from the world, he will strive to do no bad actions, and will eliminate his already acquired karman by its destruction. Then he will cross the forest of the 4-fold samsara, circle of birth and death. By renouncing collection of arms in one district only, he overcomes obstacles. Unchecked by them, he exerts himself to attain liberation. He is content with the arms he gets and does not hope for, care for, wish, desire, or covet those of a fellow monk. Not envying other monks, he takes up a separate, agreeable lodging. By renouncing articles of use, he obtains successful study. Without articles of use, he becomes exempt from desires and does not suffer misery. By renouncing forbidden food, he ceases to act for the sustenance of his life. Ceasing to act for the sustenance of his life, he does not suffer misery when without food. By conquering his passions, he becomes free from passions. Thereby he becomes indifferent to happiness and pains. By renouncing activity, he obtains inactivity. By ceasing to act, he acquires no new karman and destroys the karman he had acquired before. By renouncing his body, he acquires the preeminent virtues of the Siddhas, enlightened beings, by the possession of which he goes to the highest region of the universe and becomes absolutely happy. By renouncing company, he obtains singleness. Being single and concentrating his mind, he avoids disputes, quarrels, passions, and censoriousness, and he acquires a high degree of control, of samvara, restraint, and of carefulness. By renouncing all food, he prevents his being born again many hundreds of times. By perfect renunciation, he enters the final, 4th stage of pure meditation, whence there is no return. A monk who is in that state destroys the 4 remnants of karman, which even a Kevalan, the highest spiritual being, possesses, namely karman relating to sensations, lifespan karmas, personal identity, and lineage karmas, and then he will put an end to all misery. By conforming to the standard of monks, he obtains ease. Thereby he will be careful, wear openly the excellent badges of the order, be of perfect righteousness, possess firmness, and the Samitis, 5 rules of conduct, inspire all beings with confidence, mind but few things, subdue his senses, and practice in a high degree the Samitis, 5 rules of conduct and austerities. For more information, please visit Internet Sacred Text Archive or sacred-text.com.
No to vegan. Only people who want to go to heaven choose it.
Your life is the only most precious thing you have. Don't drag yourself into war, thus dig your own grave. Go home. Go home to beautiful Russia. Or stay alive, surrender to end the horrific war.
We have been tricked for many years, and everything shown on state TV has nothing to do with reality. Unfortunately, now the same thing is happening in the war. Even though we started to realize this war was wrong, we didn't know what to do. If nothing is done, there will be nuclear war.
Я связался с представителем разведки, объяснил ему ситуацию свою, на что мне предложили такой вариант, что давай мы гарантируем тебе безопасность, гарантируем тебе новые документы, там, гарантируем тебе денежную компенсацию. Перелетел, все успешно, приземлился, меня встретили. Здесь нет никаких фашистов, нацистов. Мне очень обидно за то, что сейчас происходит. Убийство, слезы, кровь. Просто друг друга люди убивают. Вот и все. Это вот единственное, о чем я понимаю. Единственное, чего я просто не хотел. То, что сейчас происходит, это просто геноцид украинского народа. Так, как украинского, так и российского.
Thank you, noble viewers, for joining us today for Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is Chucha Merchant Vegan, The New Revolution, Part 2 of 2, right after Noteworthy News. May you find the inner strength to persevere unwaveringly on your path of self-discovery.
Be vegan. Make peace. Do good deeds. Heaven, Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Τα προγράμματά μας προσφέρονται σε πολλές γλώσσες. Παρακαλούμε δείτε suprememastertv.com/schedule και suprememastertv.com/WOW.